So I shared this with the ladies last night, but I did have like this really cool week with God. Last week I just had this amazing time with the Father. Monday I got to find out, I shared from the stage, that somebody was going to take care of Bastion's trip. Like $1,775 is what they took care of. And it was just kind of this amazing moment. But like, I think the thing that I was thinking about is sometimes we get to have these really cool weeks, like last week, where Bastion could hear again. He gets this cool moment. But before that, I was so weary. I was so tired. And I find myself sometimes just being like, I was telling Angela yesterday, we have those moments like, where's the fruit in what we're doing? Like in the New Testament, it says that you will have fruit, and this is the fruit that you will have. And so I feel like I've been so fortunate lately that God has been like answering that prayer from the beginning of the year when I fasted and I said, God, I need to see the fruit, like what your disciples saw in the Bible. I want to see that kind of fruit. And he's 100% allowed me to participate in that. And I just appreciate the love that our Father has. And it reminded me of this verse, 1 Corinthians 15:58. Therefore, my beloved brothers, be steadfast, immovable, always abounding in the work of the Lord, knowing that in the Lord your labor is not in vain. And I think that's what matters. Sometimes we are in that waiting season. Sometimes we get to have these awesome moments where we see the fruit. But I think when we just ask God for those moments, and it's not the first time I've prayed that. There was another time I remember praying and I said, God, like, am I even making a difference? And it was like a Sunday morning. And literally that day, a woman walked up to me and said, hey, would you baptize me? And so I think when you need that encouragement and you're struggling and you think you're laboring in vain and you don't see the fruit of your labor, ask God to give you the fruit. If you never ask, you're not going to get it, right? If he says that he has all these amazing gifts for us and we can choose to leave him sitting there, right? Or we could ask him and say, God, I want to be a part of that. Like when Greg taught us in staff retreat, he just wanted to be a part of it. Your word says this. I would like to participate in that. And so I think for me, just simply asking and getting on my face before the Lord for hours and crying before him and saying, is there something between me and you that's causing me to not be able to fulfill the things that your word says I'll be able to fulfill? And being open and honest and vulnerable with him, and vulnerable, confessing my sins to one another and saying to my sisters in Christ, here's some things I've struggled with and I lay these down. And that's been the difference, at least for me. I feel like I've gone to a whole different level. And so I just encourage anybody else, like if you feel like you want to take a step into a new level with God, it starts with him. It starts with your relationship with him, So that's what I got today.